Hey, hi everybody. My second live on YouTube. I'm so happy that you were able to join me. I'm either going to be here for a couple minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes, or maybe the full hour. I don't know. This is my birthday week, and I just wanted to celebrate with you guys in my own little way. Um, just talking about a few things, my upcoming celebrations. And of course, I'm going to be packing these, or at least starting to pack them, some goodie bags, as I'm having some in person celebrations. I don't normally go big for my birthday, it's usually very quiet. But this year, I've been encouraged to do so. I've always wanted to do that, and I'm having a costume ball. So some of my friends are dressing up as goddesses. I'm dressing up as obviously a fairy, but with some African nuances. Um, I have started getting my costume ready, and I got some wings today, but I'm not showing you them here on the live. Gonna have to wait to when I do the unboxing from a Black creator here on the social media stuff. Um, yeah, today is just about chatting. Whoever comes in can come in and shout me, or you can watch it later. I really wanted to read this today because I saw this. I usually read these once a day, make my own markings or whatever. And funny enough, yesterday was Valentine's Day. So I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. I really started getting into accommodate. Accommodate, for those who don't know, I haven't even fully started celebrating it. It's just been on my radar. But accommodate is, rather was created, according to my notes here. It was created by a married African American couple called Montosho and Enwasha Idu. Hopefully I said their names right. And it is to promote unity and enhance relationships within the Black community. And Akoma Day is celebrated from February 14th to the 20th as a cultural alternative to Valentine's Day, similarly to Kwanzaa. So Kwanzaa has 7 days during the holiday season, bringing the Black community together. But now we're talking about Black love for Akoma Day. Now, today is the second day, and is about patience. And when I opened up this today, for February the 15th, it has patience is a virtue many do not possess. We have very little difficulty identifying what we want and need. The difficulty comes in waiting for it to manifest. We become nervous, doubtful, even fearful when we don't see our good coming as quickly as we think it should. Sometimes we even allow ourselves to believe someone or something can hold us back or stop our good from coming. We worry, we complain, and sometimes we give up hope. We cannot see how we get in our own way. We forget about universal timing and divine order. We may not realize how our negative thoughts, doubts, and fears uproot the positive seeds we plant. We just don't understand that we would not have the desire unless the supply were ready to come forward. We must learn the virtue of patience because every time we open the oven door, we run the risk of making a good cake fall. And the quote from this is, I have all the time in the universe. And your reflection for the day is something that you desire is on its way to you. What is it? Write 3 statements of gratitude expressing faith and belief that it is coming. So there's that thing for today. If you it isn't flipped, that's good, at least from what I can see. Ianla Van Zant, Acts of Faith. And I got this from my local bookstore here in Barbados. Upstairs Cape Shepherd for the other Bajans who may be watching. So let's get to this thing here that I promised that I was gonna do. So I have tons of bags. I have a few people that have RSVP'd, that have been very close to me throughout my years, and I really wanted to give back something to them, just a token of my appreciation. So this is like the base part of me um, putting these bags together. So this is not like the end result of it. I wanted like a fairy type vibe. So I have like gold leaves, or rather gold and white leaves, rose petals. Yeah, over here. So I have some of these here that I'm going to be stuffing the bags with, and some makeshift. I can't call these sunflowers. They're really, really tiny. I took them off like a bigger bunch that I'm going to stuff inside as well, just to add some volume and some aesthetic to them. Um, and then I'm going to be putting in like some trinkets of stuff that I will be making. I didn't have time to do it in front of the camera. And also my notes. I usually write like these quotes and notes to my friends, either on post-its and stuff like that. So I'm going to be doing that as well. But yeah, it's a birthday weekend, I guess. The weekend before my birthday. And I know there are some people who don't like to celebrate their birthday or put an age to their birthday, because it kind of, to them, it seems as though it's aging them. I've learned a lot. I realize that I am moving in a different way this time around in my life. I'm really not taking shit from anybody at all. Um, Not that I was before, but I found that my interests are really different to a lot of people here. Um, we have a few people who are like minded, but the volume of people that are interested in certain things, it's hard to come by. So, for example, when I got married in Fairy Wings, but it had a Afro-Caribbean aesthetic. So I still had my own rituals involved in that, but I found a way to still keep my integrity, my aesthetic, my belief system still within it. And got married on the beach, which was a hard sell, even though I wasn't selling. It was a hard sell for some of the members in my family, because they were like, "Where are you getting married on the beach?" I come from a very Christian background. So it's more like I felt like I was rebelling. I mean, it was my wedding, and my now husband, bless his heart, he said that you have to do what you are called to do, and if you're called to wear fairy wings, you can wear fairy wings, and you can have your own aesthetic that you want, and we ain't getting married unless you come to me as your authentic self. And it was like, oh my god, can we get married now? Can we get married now? It was really cool, and I was really happy over the whole him believing in me and really seeing me for who I was and encouraging me to be the best that I can be. And a lot of my relationships were not the best. Whoops. Obviously, because I'm not with that person or persons anymore. But I found that now that I am older, I am not pushing myself into other people's boxes for me. Like, it's gonna sound really, I don't know if it's gonna sound foolish or not, but I was in a relationship at one point in my life. I was a young adult, and I was dating this person, and I had just gotten my nose pierced, and of course it was defiant because my mother was not for that. She didn't like come out and say like, was that your nose, you gotta take it out or whatever, but I felt like you could see the disapproval, but I didn't care. And the piercer had given me a larger hoop to this, because he didn't have any smaller ones. And he said, well, if you're going to pierce your nose, I just can't pierce it, obviously, and leave it open is going to stop up, and all the pain you just went through will be for naught. So we're going to use this. If I get any couple like this size in the coming weeks, we'll change it up or whatever. I came home that evening. My boyfriend at the time was there, or he came after, or whatever. Mind you, this is over 10 years ago. And he came in and he like smiled at me like, oh, she went and got her nose pierced, like looking at me really weird and smiling as though this was his time to tell me his thoughts and exactly what, like in retrospect I realized exactly what he thought, one, and giving and thinking of the actions he's going to tell me to do with this piercing. Oh, you've pierced your nose. I was like, yeah, it's pretty much in there. He's like, okay, well, it's cute and all, but we're gonna we we're gonna get a diamond stud for you that's very, very small. I'm gonna buy it for you and you are gonna wear it. Who he talking about? We? Who knows it is? The fuck? So I felt a little strange over the whole conversation. At that time, my husband now was with me when I got it. And we were just friends. We wasn't hooking up. I wasn't cheating. Nothing like that. We actually met at an art camp. We're both artists, and we just started to talk and vibe or whatever. So when he saw me, he wasn't he wasn't with anybody, but he was dating, like playing the field or whatever. So I'll be giving him advice about how he should present himself. So like a couple girls that was on his roster. Oh, 10 years ago, what a life. So it was like he was with me when I got this done. So when I got it done, he told me how. First of all, he asked me how I felt. I was already in pain. But he asked me, how did I feel about it, like, and like giving me the mirror and asking me the questions. Do you feel okay with it? Do you like it? Does it hurt? Do you think it was a bad mistake? And then he was like, "Oh, you look really cute with it," and he's really happy that I took the step for myself and I made the decision because, like I said, it was a coming of age type years for me after that, like figuring out who I was and what I wanted to do with my life. I'm fresh out of university and deciding should I go back and do a master's and all these different things. So yeah, like my husband was a really big significant part or chunk in my life and always has been a support and even given me space and grace to say, what do you want to do? How do you want to do it? Are you happy? And I don't think anybody has ever asked me that before. I mean, he is older than I am. So maybe that came with a level of maturity. I mean, the boyfriend at the time was a little bit older than I was, so I don't know. But different perspectives. I will say that my husband is very Afrocentric and comes from a different thought process. So maybe a different philosophy, possibly. Um, so that is one of the things when I look back on in my life. Where was the support in my life? I'm sharing what's shareable because I can't tell you guys everything. But I was looking at the things that um, where was the support for me, and why was the support there for me, and how was it there for me, and Did I support myself? You know, did I support myself? And if I did, how did I do it? And if I didn't, why was that? When we're really young, we always want to fit in. We always want to make sure that we're in the right group or a community that feels safe. And I'm also rereading this book, The Spirit of Intimacy, Ancient African Teachings in the Ways of Relationships by Sobonfu Some. I don't know if you guys know that, but this is also on my reading list on my website. You can go to the afrofairygoddess.com slash, I think it's bookshelf or library. I can't remember, one of the two. But I have like a list of books that, everybody's come out like, what are you reading now? And what book would you recommend or something like that. And even on my podcast, if you go to the Afro Fairy Goddess podcast, where this all started before I like show my face to any of y'all, I've also encouraged others to like pick up books and read books. And I'm going to read this really, really quick here. It says in chapter 3, the embrace of community, since we're talking about community, the second paragraph, which is down here, if you decide to get the book or if you have it, page 22. When you don't have community, you are not listened to. You don't have a place you can go to and feel that you really belong. You don't have people to affirm who you are and to support you in bringing forward your gifts. This empowers the psyche, making you vulnerable to consumerism and all the things that come along with it. Also, it leaves many people who have wonderful contributions to make holding back their gifts, not knowing where to put them. And without the unloading of our gifts, we experience a blockage inside, which affects us spiritually, mentally, and physically in many different ways. We are left without a home to go to when we need to be seen. Okay. That that had hit home for me when I read that. And rereading it now, like a really big reminder um, about how we see ourselves and the support that is needed for us to see ourselves. And when I opened up this conversation here on this live tonight, I said, it was challenging for me to be myself, be a nerd or be Afrocentric or whatever, because the community here is small. And sometimes it feels like you are very much alone in a lot of things. And if you try to express yourself differently from the norm, you are questioned or ridiculed or I don't know, something. And it puts you in a space, looking good. It's putting you in a space of being alone. And as a human being, more specifically a Black person, like one of our major needs is community, is connection. And when we don't have that, who are we? Western philosophy deals a lot with individualism and doing it all on your own and, you know, singular thought, I guess. But community, there ain't nothing like feeling like you're at home. There is nothing like feeling that you are at home with a group who also believes in what you believe and how you believe, and sharing in that moment and becoming something so powerful and great. And you know what I mean? It's really important that we have our groups. And whilst At times, you will need to be alone. You still need that group setting. You need to learn. Hence why we have our communities and our elders. So you need to learn, but you also need to teach, because, and that's where I'm at now too in my life. I'm teaching a lot. I actually have a class tomorrow. One of my art forms is writing, and I'm also a spoken word artist. So I've been asked to teach for roughly 3 months some spoken word techniques to the community. They don't have to pay, it's free of cost. Um, and ain't even about getting the money, it's just the art form of it. A lot of us going to open mics, and a lot of stuff is dying out. A lot of stuff is dying out, and it is, I don't know if I want to say if it is up to us. Is it really up to us to do what our elders have done? A really important historian in our country died this week as well, Trevor Marshall. May he rest in peace. According to the news, he was ill for a little while now, but it still came as a shock because, people live their lives privately, so you're not going to know every single thing about everybody. So when he passed, it kind of came as a shock because a lot of us didn't even know that he was in the hospital. And then my mentor passed suddenly a year ago already. And I just feel like everything is moving so fast. I feel like all of a sudden I'm at the front of the line, not just because I have a birthday, but because of everybody just transitioning so quickly these days. And this is the year of 9. The year of 9 is representative of endings and beginnings. It is also an ancestral number. 9 is an ancestral number. And also, oh yeah, from the Ifa religion, Lukumi Santeria religion, she deals with death. She deals with change, rapid change at that, chaotic change. If you see a storm, what does a storm do? It clears the way, but how does it clear? Like if there's anything in its path, it can get uprooted. And that's what we're experiencing right now. A lot of change is happening for us this year, from elders passing very, very quickly to businesses closing, relationships ending. And if it is a case that the relationship isn't strong, like you might have your challenges, it might be harder for some more than others, but you might find that there are people who were together for like 10 years, 15, 20 years, and you just hear bram, break up. Obviously, this didn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? Like, this probably was a conversation or lack of conversation, because that's how it all starts. When you stop talking, you in trouble. This year, I'll be married 9 years, so I know what I'm talking about. Um, when you stop talking, it leaves room for other people to come and talk in your relationship, whether that is true affairs, whether that is true your friends giving you unsolicited advice, people just seeing you doing whatever it is that you do and think that their advice is the best advice for your relationship. I will say that when you have a relationship, keep it as private as possible. And I don't mean hiding it, no. I mean keeping it private. Hiding it is denying that you are in a relationship. Um, Denying that you and the person is what we call about here dealing, dating, hooking up, I guess, what you overseas would call hooking up. Um, we're in dealing with that person, or you just vibing, or you are miscommunicating the situation. One person thinks they're in a relationship and the other person hooking up or keeping it casual. Like all these are little things, and through my life it has happened to me a couple times where this, and that is why I never used to, after that one time, I could not just hook up with anybody. And I'm not bashing anybody who does. Sometimes you like somebody and sparks fly and things happen. But for me personally, I find that I will connect with a person and it will mess me up because the other person does not want that. So I can't have casual relationships. I mean, I definitely can't know because I'm married. But if I were single, I would not be doing casual relationships or late relationships. I would either be fully single and celibate, or I possibly would be getting into a relationship where the other person wants a relationship, because it hurts when I find that I give to people. Maybe I'm oversharing here, but I find that I give to people a lot of my time and my energy and my love. And when I am connected with a person, I go out of my way. Like, look at what I do for my friends. I'm sleeping with them. You know what I mean? Like this is just who I am, and I want to give a token of my appreciation to them. I'm gonna have to buy possibly another one of these during the week. Again, a little expensive. Um, but yeah, I go out of my way to make others happy, and when that connection happens and I can't get it anymore, I feel bad. So I'm not gonna fool myself and say, yeah, I can handle relationships. I can be casual. And then when you call in this person to like be socially intimate, I've had a bad day at work and this thing happened to me, and da, 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 and the person ain't really checking for that vibe, if you won't call it that. They're not really into that because you're taking it too serious. So there's that. I've also been saying no a lot. I've been saying no a lot. It feels good to say no a lot. And I don't mean a kinda, sort of, maybe no. I mean flat out no. Can you do? No. Can you go? No. What do you think about? No. Or I'm not the right person to give you that information or something like that. I have been for these past few years really sticking to no. And for a person who usually says yes, for those of you out there who say yes, I'm going to probably use some vine trim. Is this even like showing up? Probably going to use some vine trimming on one of the bags. So watch me now. Um, for people who normally say yes to everything, when you start saying no, people are very offended. People get super offended. How dare you? Or if you say you've been working a lot, right? If you say that you've been working a lot and I don't know, you are burnt out for whatever reason, and it comes to you to say no to something, like your friends see you, how are you doing? Da, da, da. Well, I've been working really hard, I'm so tired, and I don't know what to do with myself. And then you will hear, oh, but you should take a break, man. You're working too hard. It's not healthy for you, for your body, for your mind. You should take a break. You take that advice, and the next time they come around, and you say no to them is a problem. Well, I can't understand why you can't just do this for me. And it's usually the people who you're sitting with or hanging out with sometimes who are offended because you have made yourself so available. You have made yourself so available all the time that people think that they can get in contact with you however and whenever they feel like. So it's like, oh, but I'm her friend. She should do this for me. You know what I mean? This is looking interesting. I had a little vine there. What I might do is so that this just isn't hanging there, I might undo this. I'll do it now. I make it a little shorter so it just looks like an afterthought. Or I might not use it at all. I'll think about it. Because it's not a lot of this said rope. And everybody can get the same thing. I am really using my creativity here as somebody who does a lot of craft and physical art, even though I'm a performance artist first, um, to make these look really nice. And it's like a little vine coming off the side. So now when I stuff this now with the other things, like a bottle of a cocktail that I'm making is gonna go in the bags. So they have like the edible glitter. My colors are going to be purple and yellow. Funny enough, they're up here. Those, well, royal purple and gold. But this that cocktail is going in here. I have like a really cute quote that I'm putting in here and maybe a couple other things. I don't know how much the bag will hold, so that will also determine what is going to go in here. I think the bottles are smaller. I think they might peek out the bag just a little bit, but I'm really hoping that I'm able to stuff them to make them look like, so this is just like the base of the stuffing of the things, if I'm making sense. So that's where I'm at. And everybody, like, I have different types of ribbon here that I'm gonna put on some of the bags when this has fully run out. And I have a couple of ladybug stickers. I'm gonna decorate the outside as well. I might not do all of this on the live because I do have another meeting, but I'll probably do one and just play around with it. And if I decide to keep it, yay! And I might just keep it for myself. So sorry for the noise outside. It is Saturday, so people are moving around. What do you think? Putting some of these onto the bag. Looking interesting. What else do I have here? Oh yeah, I forgot. I bought some of these as well. Foil stickers. Cubby told me that these might look good. So I'm actually going to use this as a full prototype now because it's fully stuffed with the right amount of leaves on the inside. So maybe I'll put some more ladybugs around here and see how that works out. Let me try. These say that they're foil, but I'm going to have to take off one just to see. Are they foil? They don't seem to be foil, but they are see-through, which is great because the bag is see-through. So let me just see here. Just going to put some more accents on here with my insects. I love ladybugs. I think they're great. I don't even know. Do people have favorite insects? I don't know if people have favorite insects. Um, Mine would probably be a firefly. They mean a lot to me. This looks interesting. Kind of like my prototype so far. Maybe I hook this onto here. I don't know. Hmm. Not sure yet. So working it out. Not sure, not sure, not sure. Down to okay. I have some other stuff in my stationery closet behind us here. So even if I don't do everything now, like I have a full week to just mess around with some of the things I do have to make sure that the bags do look nice. I'm gonna put some on the other side as well because I don't know. So I'm definitely gonna run out of stickers for sure. So just put maybe one or two on here. Yeah. This ain't look too bad. Yeah. I don't think they look bad. I gotta figure out if I'm liking this or not. Because it wants something. It wants a handle of something. But I don't know what that is. And I don't want to leave it. I don't want to leave it empty. We'll see. I'll sleep on it. But I'll continue to decorate the rest of the bags. Um, but yeah. Life has changed quite a bit for me. Life has changed quite a bit for me, but I'm grateful. And I hope that whatever you decide to do this year, that it is also successful in every way possible. Things are not easy right now for a lot of us from losing people, but grief is also one of the big major things that is happening within our lives. I'm going to get some more of the finished stuffed bags. And here is really looking like a craft area. Um, yeah, a lot of us are going through a lot of different things right now. And it probably does seem daunting. Daunting with your decisions of life and daunting with how you should be moving. And grief is not just the loss of a friend or a loved one. Grief is also the loss of a job or even just the loss of self. Because we think that, we have this idea of who we are and who we should be. And then a reality check comes and hits us in the face. And we are left with more questions about what we should be doing with our lives. And it might not seem fair. Well, not that it might not seem, it isn't fair. Sometimes you've worked so hard to do certain things and then they don't work out because whatever, I don't know, some shit occurs and you're left there with egg on your face. How do we process grief? How do we process grief and how do we get actionable steps to healing? I think that's a question that I have, not just for you guys, but for me. I feel like the pandemic hit and we ended up in the upside down or something. Life does not feel real anymore. At least for me, it does not feel real anymore. So much has happened and changed, and it can't be because all of us are aging and getting bigger and our eyes are widened a lot more. Like, it just seems very bizarre. And we may have idols, I shouldn't say idols, but we may have mentors that we really love or think that They are so great to be around. And before you know it, not only, and I'm not saying that you put people up on a pedestal and you realize that they're human beings. I mean, they are genuine asshats. You find out the true colors of the person and it does something to you. I realize that there has been an enormous shift when it comes to influencers as well, because a lot of the world don't like influencers anymore. I find that people aren't making art anymore. You know what I mean? Like people making things. Case in point. People are making things. But I find that the artists are being overshadowed by influencers who are mostly marketing. Like you, I don't know if it happened to you, but have you seen people who used to make a lot of art online, right? And then they got a brand deal and everybody was like, "Oh my god, this was when the influencer marketing really came about." And you will see these people get paper and signing the contract, and if you're a good person, you ain't got evil eye on you. You know what I mean? You would be really happy for the people that you're following, genuinely happy because they've shared their story online and you've been following it. Da, da, da. But then all of a sudden, it just turned into like a marketing campaign where everybody is just doing marketing. And these businesses just want you to market for them. And the things that people are getting in these marketing packages, and even as much as what I have here in this bag, you're getting the same shit, the same tote bags and the same hats and the same, I guess, tumblers or whatever, and t-shirts, stickers. But do they get a 10%? They're getting 10% discount. What is a 10% discount in this economy or any economy? And are you paying these people every month a respectable amount? You know, share my background here in social media, but are you looking at the numbers and looking at the retention rates? Are you looking, as a marketing person, are you looking to see the conversation, not just the likes, but the conversation inside of the chat and what you're doing in the community with what you are doing? Are you changing lives? Instead of just telling me sell an umbrella, sell some data for your telecoms or whatever it is, like what are we doing to change the world? And do we need to change the world? Does it need changing? I would say a sounding yes, because of all the ish that is happening right now. Not just in USA, but everywhere. Everywhere. Even the wind has changed. I listen to the earth a lot. I listen to the wind. I listen to the ocean. As a Caribbean person, you spend a lot of time at the ocean. And the world, the energy has shifted tremendously. The water has changed tremendously, and I feel like we are almost being finessed away from listening to nature and what nature is responding. Like, that had snow in places this year that should not have snowed. We don't have snow in the Caribbean, but I know the day is coming. It might not be hard snow, but I feel like gonna be slushy. One day I'm gonna go outside and it will be like this slushy-ish kind of thing that's gonna be on the outside, and everybody's like, "Oh my god!" And I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, this should have been here ever since." We have dry season and wet season. The rain will not fall for 6 months, and then the other six you get rainy season with your cyclones and your storms and flooding and all of that. But that happens in June to December. It is February and the rain is falling a lot. It's very disturbing. The wind is high. Remember, I said at the top of this discussion, Oya is the goddess of the storm. And I feel like her presence is very much here and has been here for such a long time, but we never realized it. And now that things are moving faster and faster and faster, that you start to realize that something isn't quite right. I ain't care when nobody say you don't have to be a spiritualist or a babalawo or a priest to realize that there is something happening right now within the universe itself. Like the past couple of years, I felt like I was waiting for the shoe to drop or the other shoe to drop, as the saying goes. And I feel like it has dropped and it has skittered underneath your bed and you don't know where it gone. If you get me, you get me. I ain't trying to be a conspiracy theorist or nothing like that, but something just feels off. It does. The upside down. This is what I've been telling you. We're in the upside down. Nobody can tell me different. There's just so much shit happening that doesn't make sense. Way too much. I'm thinking that I'm falling in love with what I'm doing, and I know my friends will like it. Everybody's like, oh, just do what you gotta do. Whatever you do, whatever you give me, enjoy. I'm I'm happy and I am grateful for friends who encourage you to be yourself and enjoy the things that you do because of them or with them or for them. Yeah. I just want to get through these last couple here. This is a lot of work that I did not intend to do. I have to do my photo shoot in the morning and I have class to teach in the morning. So I am psyching up myself after this lovely live to pack my things for this photo shoot. Oh Lord, I didn't want us stuck on there. Can it come off easy? Yes. Um I I have to figure out what I'm doing in the morning and put some makeup on my face and try to look magical and mystical and all these cute things. And then come back home, change, repack my work bag, and carry my teaching aids with me to class. And I hope that people come and that they're willing to work and that we have good, clean conversation. Because sis is tired. I really, really am. This is the last one on this. So I'm going to put this somewhere. I don't know. Keeping it random, but keeping it classy. So it has a bed and then it has all these different little things. I wanted my celebration to have things that represented me in every way. So it's not just these things, but is a representation of who I am as a person and who I have become unapologetically. And all the things that I aspire to be. So I am paying homage to my childlike nature as well as as well as my adult self, my Afro-Caribbean self, my entrepreneurship spirit, my blackness. It is Black History Month, and so much more. Just trying to put the last ladybug on this thing. Then I'm gonna go to a meeting. So I don't think I did pretty. I didn't do too bad. Um, just gonna show you guys the amount I have done. There's more on the ground, but talking to you, I have like this set in my hand and then another set of this amount as well. So I have 7 days to complete this. I am sincerely running out of space, but just to quickly wrap up, as it is 50 minutes I've been on here, I am grateful for those who are watching currently, whether that is now in my timeline as I'm recording this or those who will watch later. I'm not sure if it was a blessing to you or not, but I hope it is in some way, maybe give you some little trinkets for food for thought. And I'm grateful to be on the cusp of seeing a new year. And I'm really, really happy with who I am and how I'm living my life to the fullness and to the possibilities that are here but are also yet to come. And I hope that whoever it is that will be watching this has that amount of gratefulness for their birth year celebrations. If you said, because I got some people that don't celebrate their birthdays, but if you do, I do hope that it is expansive in a good way and that we can all share in heightening our spirits for the goodness of all and without harm to none. Ashe. The rain just started again. I don't even know if you can hear it because my fan is on. So I think that's a really good time for me to close off. Thank you for being here with me. If you stayed through to the end, or even if you skipped through some pieces and got here, it was really nice to just talk about some of the things that was shareable and hopefully share with you as well. I can put my microphone by the window, see if you can hear some rain. I don't even know if you can pick that up, but the rain was coming on the mic and I don't want it to get wet. But thank you for being here, guys. I'm gonna end the stream now and hopefully I can do another one next month. The spring equinox is the 20th, either the 19th, 20th, or the 21st. I think it's the 19th. Almost a month away. New beginnings for a lot of things. So hopefully we can come back and maybe I'll read a book or a chapter or pull some cards or something really, really cool. But yeah, I am the Afro Fairy Goddess, reminding you to always believe in your magic. Bye.